everyone wants a piece of the action, and his fortune is about to change for the worse. Touchstone Pictures invites you to an unforgettable adventure.
And now a page from our Sunday Morning Almanac, August 26th, 1940.
Rushmore.
The day Hollywood found its voice.
It's about being the life of the party.
For on that day, Don LaFontaine, the king of coming attractions, was born in Duluth, Minnesota. Though you might not recognize the name or the face, surely you remember this.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day. This time, he's back. For good.
Or this.
A family comedy without the family. Home Alone.
How about this?
He's still the same old dad, Mrs. Doubtfire.
In his 33-year career, Don LaFontaine lent his voice to more than 5,000 movie trailers.
Blackjack, the new film, Lethal Weapon 4.
And 350,000 commercials. Yes, you heard right.
William Baldwin, Jamie Lee Curtis. Virus.
His ominous, melodramatic baritone became known in the business as the VOG, or Voice of God. And as he told CBS News in 1998, it was a gift from above.
I was 13 years old, and my mother was doing dishes one day, and I said, "Mom, I'll help you with the dishes."
After a stint in the Army, LaFontaine was working for a New York radio station when he and a colleague formed a company to produce movie trailers. In 1965, a mix-up prevented an announcer from making a session, and LaFontaine stepped up to the mic and found his calling.
Joe Daylight, the border raider who won the Casa Grande, and all that went with it.
A colorful writer who often penned his own spots, he will perhaps best be known for his catchphrase, "In a world."
In a world without you. In a world filled. In a world where the sun burns cold.
The line became so popular, LaFontaine spoofed himself in a 2005 Geico commercial.
In a world where both of our cars were totally underwater.
Don LaFontaine died in 2008 at the age of 68. But as long as there are movies and coming attractions, he'll be playing at a theater near you.
At the open of a Billie Eilish concert, a giant light box rises in the arena.
Spoiler alert, I'm in the cube, but you can't see me. I can literally see everybody so well from inside this box, but they have no idea I can see them. It feels like I'm wearing an invisibility cloak.
That's a luxury you don't have most of the time.
No, that's true. That's true, but it also makes me feel a little like I'm not real.
Said I need to be alone now, I'm taking a break.
Her whole career has been kind of unreal. Eilish, who turns 23 this month, has more than 100 million followers on Spotify. An ardent fan base that filled the United Center in Chicago.
Kind of want to introduce you to everyone. Should we do that?
Baby, I think you were made for me.
A few hours before showtime,
Do you guys want to meet CBS Sunday Morning?
Billie was scurrying around backstage, introducing us to her backup singers.
This is Ava.
Hi, Ava.
Hi, nice
How you
to
doing?
meet you.
Her band,
This is Abe.
Hi. Hi, Abe. How you doing?
This is Solo.
Solo. Nice to meet you.
and taking us
Have you guys gone to the puppy room yet?
to a room full of rescue dogs
Welcome to the puppy room.
who offer stress relief.
He adopted one the other day. She adopted one the other day too.
And I could never get enough. I could
She's filled her crew with friends, even the furry kind, because this tour is different.
How's it different?
Well, I don't have my brother.
I'm the bad guy.
Duh.
Since Eilish broke out at 14, her older brother, Phineas, has been her producer, songwriting partner, and backing band.
And I've never done a show without my brother in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I've barely performed and sung without my brother, like ever.
But they agreed it was time for her to go out on her own.
I was built into the show for several years in an irreplaceable way, and I always kind of was trying to make myself replaceable.
I wish you the best.
Her mom, Maggie Baird, came to the Chicago show, but her parents also aren't touring with her anymore.
Does that feel strange?
Yeah, it does feel strange, yeah. But it also feels okay. And there's also a lot of jobs I used to do where I'm like, I'm happy I don't have to do that one anymore.
Honestly, she won't admit it, but I think it's been really nice for her that I've been gone. And that then she can come see me and it's not just like her whole life. I mean, I've been her whole life for like 23 years now.
Yeah. Pretty good life, though.
Yeah, a lot, but yeah.
I used to float, now I just fall down.
Earlier this year, Eilish won her second Oscar for the Barbie theme, What Was I Made For?
What I was made for.
Billie Eilish!
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish!
She already has 9 Grammys, and now another.
7 Grammy nominations.
How about that?
You got Record of the Year and Song of the Year nominations for a song you almost didn't put on the album.
Right, I know.
I want you to stay.
Billie and Phineas had struggled with the song Birds of a Feather.
We wrote like the first half and it was super good. And then we overthought it for like months and months and months.
When you sing it, do you hear all that you went through to create it?
Sometimes. Sometimes when I listen to it, I hear certain parts that I'm like, oh, that was such a nightmare. That was so punishing.
Birds of a feather, we should stick together. I know I said I'd never.
At least until recently, you didn't think of yourself so much as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Has that changed?
It's changed. I did like way more writing on this album than anything ever. But this is the thing I'm trying to say is that like I've been writing music since I was 11.
Right.
But because I wasn't as fast at it or it wasn't as good as my brother, I kind of thought, oh, I'm not a songwriter.
But when they sat down to write Billie's third album, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Phineas felt uninspired.
We'd get in the studio to write, and I'd be like, can we go play pickleball?
I know.
I think I just sort of had a little fatigue there.
You were in different places.
Different places.
In that moment, did you feel alone?
Yeah, totally.
In the past, Phineas would help pull a lyric out of his sister. This time, she had to coax the words out of herself.
And then in just being given that space, I'd come up with it.
On the last chorus of Birds of a Feather, Eilish reached for a note she wasn't sure she could hit. Her vocal bravery came after she started taking singing lessons.
Have you found some part of yourself you didn't even know was there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my voice, I can't express how gratifying and satisfying and fulfilling it has been to learn these things about my own voice that's in my body that I didn't even know I was capable of.
It's liberating.
It's so liberating.
Everybody don't wanna say goodbye.
For all we may think we know about Billie Eilish, the singer is just beginning to know herself.
What's interesting to me is you're talking now about two things. One is you've discovered a part of your voice you didn't even know was there, and you've discovered you're more of a songwriter than you ever thought. Yeah. Where does that leave you?
Great question. We'll see. I don't know.
Good night.
Sentences that you want to? Just the first sentence you want?
No, let's do the whole thing, the whole paragraph.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. It was Sunday.
That was great, wasn't it?
How was I up to there?
I love that bit.
Very good.
They are some of Hollywood's best.
No, let's take a break.
Okay, what I hope we're going to do is set the tone of the thing in these first 6 or 7 pages.
People you've probably seen time and again in movies and on TV. JoBeth Williams from Poltergeist and The Big Chill.
Hurried along with great strides of their little thin legs, very anxious and preoccupied.
By and by, gorged with steam beer and overcome by the heat of the room.
Joe Spano from Hill Street Blues.
Laborers thronged the sidewalks. The newsboys chanted.
Carol Kane. Judy Ann Elder.
With a certain cheap smartness, always in a hurry.
Harris Yulin. Holly Palance.
Occasionally a cable car passed.
Rehearsing, all of them, not for the cameras, but just for the microphone. Rehearsing for radio.
Plate, 2 kinds of vegetables and a sort of suet pudding full of strong butter and sugar. On his way back
They
to his
are
office,
but one of several groups trying to preserve the magic of radio drama.
Every other Sunday, he became an irresponsible animal.
I'm sorry, Georgia, I'll change. A direction of his...
Actress Georgia Brown.
Wait a second.
Stop there.
Yeah,
I think it's a sad thing that there hasn't been drama on radio for all these years, and I think it's important that it comes back to the American public on the radio. I mean, it's great to be able to sort of just turn that radio on and disappear into some wonderful drama or play.
Show the tribute my air raid warden's helmet, Molly.
I wouldn't know where to look for it, dearie.
Oh, I know where it is. It's right here in the hall closet.
Oh, no.
To disappear into some wonderful radio play or comedy show. Before TV, that's what America did.
I gotta straighten out that closet one of these days.
How could you deceive me like this?
There were silly radio soaps and serious radio dramas.
You have a rendezvous on an island 20
Producers and writers were discovering the joys of painting pictures with words. Among them, the young man with the jet black hair. Then and now, the dean of American radio dramatists, Norman Corwin.
Young men came along, kids really, I was a kid, who had an opportunity to develop their skills in what is essentially the theater of the imagination, the viewless theater, where the ear is sovereign, where the eye, with its demand for literalness, plays no part.
Now, where does this go?
This goes after the, yes, this goes after the scene.
Corwin and the other pioneers of radio's golden age are kids no more, of course, but they too gather occasionally to recreate the great radio dramas of the past.
There is no new thing to be said about Lincoln. There is no new thing to be said about the mountains or the
Voices
seas or the
you've
stars.
heard all your life.
The years go
Dan
their way,
O'Herlihy.
but the same old mountains lift their granite shoulders above
Harley
the
Baer.
towns.
He was Chester
Same
on radio's
mysterious
Gunsmoke. There's sound effects man Cliff Thorsness, a veteran of Orson Welles' Mercury Theater.
I think you would make an excellent senator, Mr. Lincoln. Although
Jeanette
you
Nolan,
represent,
here
I
with
say
Pat Buttram in Corwin's A Presidential Love Story about Abe Lincoln and Anne Rutledge.
I sometimes use jokes to cure my own blues, sometimes to cinch.
Jeanette Nolan first played this part in 1940 when the play premiered on NBC Radio. 1940.
You realize you're giving secrets to the enemy.
A calculated risk and a welcome one, ma'am.
You're very gallant.
What radio drama does is to enlist the collaboration of the audience. It says to the listener, you dress this set. You draw the portrait of the protagonist. You cast this yourself. It is in your mind. The theater is your mind.
Taxi runs off, then you go down the end of the lock. We'll stay with him, and you'll be yelling taxi towards the end of the street, okay?
There are some new techniques, though. This radio satire, Centropolis, is being taped on the streets of San Francisco. That way, the sound effects are real, natural.
Maybe shot crystal meth. Taxi! Hey, we gotta put you on your feet. Hey, taxi! You look like taxi! Taxi! You downers.
Sometimes a little too natural.
Just kidding, just kidding.
At this point, he'll yell police, okay?
Like most radio drama done these days, this one's produced by public radio.
Guaranteed no germs for you. I'll go real slow. No
It's a far cry from the big bucks and big casts of network radio in the 40s.
Said leave me alone.
But producer-director Eric Bowersfeld says that's not the point.
Play down the yelling for the police. The price isn't the important thing. It's the talent, the artistry, the ingeniousness, the people who are in it. And I don't think that any community in the world lacks such resources. You just have to want to do it, and you find a way of getting it done.
Here we go. This is McTeague, Chapter 1, Page 1.
Back at the studio, they are taping McTeague, a radio adaptation of the old Frank Norris novel about turn-of-the-century San Francisco.
McTeague looked forward to these Sunday afternoons as a period of relaxation and enjoyment.
You could enjoy it just a tiny bit more if you would. Take 3.
Taping it, false starts and all.
McTeague looked forward to these Sunday afternoons as a period of relaxation and enjoyment.
That was too much. We'll split the difference somewhere.
Hector Elizondo.
There we go. It's wonderful to be a conjurer, you know, to have that kind of intimacy. It's there's something very fantastic about the radio. You know, there's a lot of you can create with your voice, and it's very interesting to learn a whole new craft.
When he opened his dental parlors, he felt that his life was a success, that he could hope for nothing better.
JoBeth Williams.
Leaving behind one or two. You're totally reliant on your voice. And whereas with acting, you know, for the camera, you use your face, your body, everything to express it. With radio, you are totally dependent on your voice, so you have to do more with it. You have to be bigger with it, and it's a different kind of a stretch.
See what happens if you give us just a half a pause after street, too. Take 3.
Sure. The street was asleep.
Yes.
Day after day, McTeague saw the same panorama unroll itself. The bay window of his dental parlors was for him a point of vantage from which he watched the world go past.
Very good. That's a wrap.
Will Irene succeed in recapturing John's love?
And will radio ever recapture the great days of the golden past?
Listen in tomorrow.
It will never come back in full force. I would love to say I think it will. All I can do is to say I hope it will, but the chances are small.
Lincoln spoke in 1850. Would you try that again, Dan, please?
Yes.
Lincoln spoke once in 1850 to his law partner Herndon.
But if you know where to look on the dial, you can still hear the voices, the wonderful voices old and new.
Judge Douglas.
Mr. Lincoln?
Yeah, here's your good woman.
It's timeless radio drama, the theater of the imagination.
Oh, archangels and arch enemies together.
I told her everything I know. It didn't take long.
I've been doing a little reconnoitering for you, Stephen. Now you'll be able to match him story for story.
Oh, it would take more than a little reconnoitering. Coming our way, Lincoln.
No thanks, I'll have my own.
Why am I so emotional? No, it's not a good look and some self-control.
His is the voice behind the international smash, Stay With Me. Almost overnight, that soulful falsetto has made Sam Smith one of the biggest stars in the world.
You think you were prepared for where you are now?
I think no. Actually, 100% no.
Early this year, the 22-year-old singer had 2 songs top the British charts.
I wanted it so bad, and I still want it so bad, that the thought of being 60 years old and thinking I could have tried harder makes me feel sick.
I'm reaching out to you. Can you hear my call?
Then he invaded America.
How did it feel to play Saturday Night Live?
It was possibly the scariest night of my entire life.
Really?
Also, my manager cleverly on the morning said to me, this is the most important night of your entire life. Which is ridiculous. But it was.
His album, In the Lonely Hour, is the best-selling debut of the year in the U.S.
#1
#1 on iTunes.
He is on everybody's one-to-watch list for 2014.
Give it up for Sam Smith!
The 6'3" singer, who's suddenly everywhere, seemed to come out of nowhere.
It's really hard to explain where I come from, actually, because it's in between. Cambridge is half an hour away. London's an hour away.
Smith grew up in the rural English village of Great Chisel, where he started mapping out a career before he was even a teenager.
What was the plan?
Plan was to move to London and become a famous singer.
Working out remarkably well.
Yeah, this is my house here.
Oh, this is it right up here?
Yeah, that was my bedroom there.
His mother, a banker, and his stay-at-home dad noticed his talent. So did neighbors like Jim Cunningham.
You remember this guy?
Yeah, of course I do, yes.
What do you
Used to knock
remember?
around here, causing all kinds of trouble. And he used to be screeching out of that window up there. But it was wonderful.
In grade school at St. Thomas More, he sang in the school musicals.
How are you? Good to see you. Thank you. You're right.
So, who have we got with us today? Can't shout his name out.
When we returned with him last month, his album had just hit #1 again in England.
Oh my God.
You're such an inspiration. I've been able to tell them. Sam was sitting here. This could be you. You could be the next Sam Smith.
After school, Smith would walk for hours along country roads, headphones on, singing along to Beyoncé.
Yeah, this is my little spot. And I got my first ever job in a newsagent's over there.
How did you happen to pick this spot?
I don't know, it's just something about listening to music and looking at that, for me. It made the music sound sweeter. Do you get what I mean?
Certainly.
I remember sometimes being here, right, and I'd be listening to music for hours and hours and hours, and then suddenly this car would just screech up here. I remember my dad thinking I'd been kidnapped.
His father would connect him with a music teacher, Joanna Eden.
What did you work on in those early days?
I mean, the first song that I sang was Come Fly With Me.
Come fly with me.
Frank Sinatra.
Come fly, fly away.
By age 12, he had his first manager.
So proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
But it didn't all come easily.
I had adults around me promising me things which they knew in their head was a lie. And that was the most horrible thing.
Did you start to doubt yourself at all?
100%.
You did?
100%. Even now, I doubt myself. I listen to I don't understand what the big fuss is. I don't understand what people hear in my voice. I can't hear it myself.
Smith's breakthrough came in 2012, when the electronic group Disclosure asked him to sing lead on their hit Latch.
I'm latching on to you.
That's when he and his producer, Jimmy Napes, started writing songs together.
So give me an example of how this process works.
Well, actually, I'm Not the Only One. He played these chords to me, right?
Right.
This was...
I hated them. It's like that.
In a week, they had this tune.
You and me, we made a vow. For better or for worse. I can't believe you let me down. But the proof in the way it hurts.
Smith and Napes also co-wrote Stay With Me. The chorus is actually Smith's voice, recorded in about 40 different takes.
Stay with me, 'cause you're all I need.
It felt like we built a choir out of just Sam's voice, and it was just me and Sam, and I was like, run to that corner of the room, now that corner. Yeah.
I'm kind of annoyed that everyone thinks that's a gospel choir.
It's all you.
Yeah, I want the credit.
Smith says his album was inspired by his unrequited love for a married man.
I told all my secrets in that album, my deepest and darkest secrets. I'm a very open person, I'm a very honest person. But to me, the things that I've always kept hidden were the fact that I was a bit lonely and the fact that maybe I loved someone and they didn't love me back. And when I decided to tell the entire world that and call my record In the Lonely Hour, which I just didn't think through, I didn't realise quite how much I was revealing.
Thank you for coming out, guys. I hope you know how much this means to me.
It's not just the voice, it's his vulnerability that has made Sam Smith a star.
Part of your success is that you have shown all of yourself.
Yeah, I know. Hearing a whole entire room sing back to me, I guess it's true I'm not good at one night stand. You know, I can't explain the feeling. It's unreal. You feel like you've just read your diary to thousands of people and they've gone, it's okay, we still love you.
Sing. I want you, stay with me. 'Cause I'm all I need.
Broken bat grounder, that'll get a run home.
The baseball team's announcer can be as much a part of its appeal as any player.
Pitch is low and it's ball 4, bases loaded.
Think of Vin Scully in Los Angeles.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Or of late legends like Red Barber in Brooklyn.
This is the old redhead, Red Barber.
And Harry Carey at Wrigley Field.
Holy cow!
You are part therapist and part guide and part entertainer.
It's game number 3 of this series, the rubber match.
Which brings us to this season and Jason Benetti, who became the main announcer for the Chicago White Sox. The Sox finished a long way out of first place.
3-2 again.
But up in the booth, Jason Benetti
in the air, tailing away into right center field.
Is one of the best.
Hits it to the wall.
The job isn't just to yell and yammer into a mic about what happens on the field.
Who taught you to switch it?
He makes the rounds before each game, talking to players to tell their stories.
Your first major league game you ever went to?
It was a Pittsburgh Pirates game with my grandparents.
And he preps his own distinct system.
One of the best parts of baseball is that everybody keeps score differently.
For recording each play of the game.
Green is for walks.
It requires a proliferation of pens.
Orange is for strikeouts. I use the purple for pregame notes.
Cross out all the inning numbers on your lineup card.
Yes, now I have.
Jason Benetti's partner in the booth is former pitching great Steve Stone.
I look at somebody who has the intensity of a professional baseball player, the intellect of a nuclear scientist, the abilities that are off the charts.
Ground ball to third, Moncada with the tag, and he got him!
You go back a long way with the White Sox, don't you?
I do. When I was a kid, I came here a lot.
Tell us about an essay you wrote when you were in grade school.
I think essay is a little bit of a stretch. Evidently, I wrote this essay that said what I want to be when I grow up is the White Sox announcer.
It took 27 years, a law degree, and gigs calling college and minor league sports before Benetti joined the White Sox announcers in 2016.
Left field, base hit.
He is an extraordinary human being who has overcome a situation that a lot of people don't overcome. And he's done it by sheer force of will. I have never seen a more determined guy.
James, do you have 60 seconds for me?
But Jason Benetti has overcome, or at least contends with every day, is cerebral palsy.
I was born premature. As my parents tell the story, nearly died, and a doctor helped save me.
Cerebral palsy, or CP, is a disorder that happens when parts of the brain that control muscles are damaged during pregnancy or birth. It can affect muscle coordination for walking, vision, and speech. Jason Benetti has had several surgeries and years of physical therapy.
I think I can see reactions that people give me, where people will smile and talk slowly to me.
People can see Benetti has eyes that wander and a walk he calls funny. He says being so conspicuous just encouraged him to play the tuba in his high school marching band.
If somebody's going to psychoanalyze a little kid who walks with a limp, of course he's going to pick the tuba, the biggest one, because he's got a chip on his shoulder. But part of the requirement of band is that we march. And so we decided that that was not terribly safe.
But he loved being part of the show. Benetti's band director had the idea to put him behind a microphone to call the band's routines. That's how Jason Benetti became an announcer.
They gave me a chance to sit behind a thing that I had no idea that I was going to love.
Tim Anderson drills it to center. Smith back at the warning track. It is up and clanging off and back in.
Is walking a chore sometimes?
It's not. It's actually not. It doesn't look great, but it gets me where I'm going.
Jason Benetti says he's not a disability activist, but he knows his story can be important.
I'm a guy who walks a bit different and whose eyes go in totally different directions of the world.
He shares some everyday moments about CP in a series of cartoons for the Cerebral Palsy Foundation called
Awkward Moments. Do you have 5-year-olds look at you and ask their mother, hey, what's wrong with that man? You don't. I do. Happens all the time. And the mom
shushes the kid. I've seen that. I've lived it. It's happened to me dozens of times. That in no way teaches the kid what he's or she's looking at. By saying, shh, they're trying to make my life better. Yeah. But long range, there's less understanding. So the hope is that there's just more curiosity about what's going on and more openness.
Do you ever dream about doing an interview where we don't have to mention CP?
Here's the thing. I mean, honestly, it's part of me. So many people travel this world and don't know what's unique about them.
How's it going? Good.
I already have one built in.
What do you say we do it again tomorrow? Try and win one tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll do that.
America's young women are running out of oxygen. What else could explain why so many of them sound like this?
So cute, so cute. Which is kind of like my, motto,
Kim and Chloe just don't get it.
Believe it or not, there's a scientific term for the way a Kardashian speaks, and it's vocal fry. It's a low, creaky vibration produced by a fluttering of the vocal cords. Speech pathologists call it a disorder that verges on vocal abuse, and here's what it looks like. Call it a quirk, a trend, or an epidemic. Vocal fry is everywhere.
I'm not staying here tonight.
The only reason why I'm going is just to network.
A recent study of women in college found that 2/3 of them use this glottalization, which explains why the fry is a sizzling topic in the New York Times. On morning TV,
It sounds something like this.
Even for an NPR host.
It's annoying. I mean, it's really annoying.
When I was a tween in the early 80s, the Valley Girl was born. She brought us like and uptalk. And there's been a general cultural agreement that that kind of speech leaves the user sounding airheady and unprofessional. But vocal fry is unique because researchers have found that women who talk this way are seen by their peers as educated, urban-oriented, and upwardly mobile.
You love him, and he totally complimented you.
Some linguists even suggest that creaky young ladies are evolving our culture as linguistic innovators.
Tyler has a pretty good reputation in this business.
Well, metaphorically, I encourage every woman to find her voice. I'm dismayed at how low it can go.
On my 16th birthday.
I'm burned out on the fry. It sounds underwhelmed and disengaged. It's annoying to listen to a young woman who sounds world-weary, and exactly like her 14 best friends.
Rumor has it that you might have a little extra time at home these days, and I've got just the thing to fill it. Listening to books. Now, in the old days, they were called books on tape. They weren't very compact. In fact, Even books on compact disc weren't very compact. One Harry Potter book takes 17 of them. And then this happened.
Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that
Suddenly, the smartphone made audiobooks so convenient that this happened. Double-digit revenue growth year after year. Over 45,000 new audiobooks recorded last year alone. $1 billion in sales.
I call my house the house that books built. It's a nice living. And seeing the multitudes.
Meet Scott Brick, audiobook superstar. They call him the man with the golden voice. He's recorded Jurassic Park, In Cold Blood, Alexander Hamilton, and 900 other books. It's not something people do in life, to read continuously for 8 hours.
No, it's true. People say to me, I'm interested in doing audiobooks. What should I do? And I say, well, grab something at random, go sit in your closet and just read out loud for 8 hours. And if you feel like doing it again tomorrow, give me a call. Hallowed be thy name.
Earlier this year, we found Brick recording a classic bestseller, the Bible.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. I've had Lyft drivers say, have we met? I hear your voice, I feel like I know you. I've had women who said, I'd take you to bed every night with me. 6 minutes from now, one of us would be dead.
But nobody's a bigger fan of Scott Brick's narration than best-selling author Brad Meltzer.
Scott has an amazing baritone. He makes me sound handsome, more muscular. He makes me sound like I have hair.
There's no such thing as a perfect kiss, but this one's definitely in the running. She murmurs.
Do you hear his voice as you're writing?
I always put an accent just to see if he can do it. You know, you'll hear someone who has a Bulgarian accent in the book, and you're like, oh, that's an interesting thing to describe. No, that's just me trying to see if Scott Brick can pull it off in the audiobook.
These are supposed to be clean room conditions. You know how much time and money you just cost us? He shouts, raging forward.
People say, oh, why don't you read your own book? I can't do 30 voices. I can't do scenes of someone's death and make you come to tears. A good reader can do that. The very best readers come here every year to the Audie Awards, the industry's highest honor. This year, they were hosted by our own Mo Rocca.
Here I am in this fabulous venue, and Stephen King is here.
Once money, fame, and prestige came to the humble audiobook,
Oh, no, declared the Scarecrow.
Plants were like people.
it didn't take long for Hollywood to notice.
In the beginning, I had competition, but not anymore.
I read the complete autobiography of Malcolm X as told to Alex Salie, and it was incredible.
The story ends.
Laurence Fishburne's resume is full of credits from Broadway, TV, and movies.
You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland.
But now he can add audiobook narrator.
I could, for the first time, pick up a book and read and now begin to understand what the book was saying.
I've noticed that more and more recognizable names from Hollywood are starting to record audiobooks. And I'm just wondering, what's the attraction?
Everything. I have been blessed with what I've been told is a wonderful speaking voice.
Oh, it's incredible, dude.
And so, if I can use my speaking voice to tell stories that inspire people, that lift them up, that brighten their day,
wow,
that's a gift.
Is it acting?
Yes, of course.
If I was not reading in the library, I was reading on my bunk. You couldn't have got me out of books with a wedge.
I do remember walking out of the first recording I did as just a narrator, thinking that was the most taxing physical experience I've ever had. And I've, trekked into pulp.
Then why didn't you raise any of these...
Jesse Eisenberg played Mark Zuckerberg in the movie The Social Network.
Mr. Zuckerberg, do I have your full attention?
No.
And Lex Luthor in Batman vs. Superman. But now, he's pushing the definition of an audiobook.
And I've been thinking about this criticism, and I'm sorry to say this, but I don't fully agree with you.
He's written a 3-character audiobook, audio play, audio novel called When You Finish Saving the World.
Like as a metaphor. It marries my two favorite things more acutely than anything else I could think of, which is, writing fiction and performing.
Wow. And plus, you don't need to dress up or take a shower. You can just...
It's perfect for me, because I barely do either one, except when I'm appearing on CBS.
We're deeply honored.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know what it feels like to work for someone else.
What's also new about Eisenberg's project is that he wrote it expressly for audio, not for print. It's called an Audible original. Audible.com is the big kahuna of audiobooks.
Is there a prestige value these days to having been a reader for some of these books? Is it like cool?
Yes. I think actors, and I'm certainly one of them who do a lot of Hollywood-style movies, I think for a lot of them, you feel like you also want to be involved with the kind of small things that you're a fan of that don't get as much attention.
For now, audiobooks are getting a lot of attention. And by the way, you don't have to pay money for them. You can download audiobooks from your library. And one more thing, there's no shame in listening to a book.
You're still getting the story. You're getting exactly what the author wanted you to get.
But what about that whole thing about you, Scott, are depriving me of letting my brain imagine what they sound like?
I want to do just enough to keep your imagination muscle working.
Yeah.
My job is to get the author's story across.
Right.
Job one. If I've done that, then anything else is gravy.
Come on, everybody. Time for the family portrait.
The world first met The Simpsons in 1987.
Everybody smile. I'm going to set the automatic timer.
When cartoonist Matt Groening began contributing animated segments to The Tracy Ullman Show.
Good night, son.
2 years later, The Simpsons had a show and a life all their own. From the outset, one message was clear: question authority. Homer Simpson may be a grown-up, but he's still as helpless as any kid in the face of power. Just consider his job: safety supervisor at the world's shoddiest nuclear power plant.
Just resting my eyes.
Ah, well done. A rested employee is a vigilant employee.
It's a guerrilla battle. I mean, the authorities have the high ground. They have all the money, they have the tradition, they have the history in their favor, so we have to just kind of take pot shots and then run back up into the hills.
Pot shots at religion.
Looks like slim pickings today, Reverend.
Oh, Lord. Try the emergency plate, Ned.
Hi, everybody.
Medicine.
Now, if something should go wrong, let's not get the law involved.
The media.
This reporter promises to be more trusting and less vigilant in the future.
Excellent.
Every institution takes a knock on The Simpsons.
Oh, Marge, cartoons don't have any deep meaning. They're just stupid drawings that give you a cheap laugh. Oh, I don't know, with my massive blood loss and all. Although I do like the occasional beer.
Dan Castellaneta gives life to the words of Homer Simpson.
Did you ever see that Blue Man Group? Total ripoff of the Smurfs.
And has come up with one of the show's most memorable expressions.
Well, dough is an ad-lib.
Dough!
It's always been written in a script as a annoyed grunt.
Dough!
And I asked Matt Groening what it was, and he said, whatever you want it to be.
Dough!
So I remember this comedian from the Laurel and Hardy movies, Jim Finlayson, always went, dough! And in an animation, since it has to be faster, it turned into dough!
I think we can be proud that we never did a bad show.
Castellaneta voices more than 60 other characters on the show.
That's an exit? For shame!
Providing the writers with a virtual repertory company to choose from.
Whenever I'm recording the actors, I always hesitate before I say cut at the end of a scene because I never know for sure if they're going to come up with something and I don't want to step on it.
We've all heard about the promise and perils of artificial intelligence. But lest you have any doubts about its potential, consider this report from our Lee Cowan.
You may think that I'm talking foolish.
Even if you're not into country, you can't help but bathe in the baritone that is Randy Travis.
Oh, darling, I'm gonna love you forever. Forever and ever, amen.
His voice goes down like whiskey, always has.
But on the other hand,
ever since his first album in 1986 with record producer Kyle Lennon.
I thought if we sold 40,000 copies, they might let us make a second record.
And what did that first?
About 4 million. I'm a genius.
There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway.
Randy Travis and that voice helped build Warner Music Nashville into what it is today. Chris Lacey is the label's co-chair and co-president. What was it about his voice that was so unique?
How do you describe a thing that just hits you in the center of your chest, you know, and unconsciously makes you feel full and familiar and known? How do you describe something like that, you know?
Last night I dug your picture out from my old dresser drawer.
His was a God-given talent, and then fate took it all away.
Another serious medical blow to country music star Randy Travis. He suffered a stroke last night at a hospital in Texas.
It felt like it could be the end of an era.
I thought we were going to lose him.
Okay. He was given just a 2% chance of survival. Besides the paralysis, the area of his brain that controls speech and language was hit the hardest.
Music is what he's made of. Music is his heart, it's his soul.
His wife, Mary, does most of the talking these days.
He knows what he wants to say, but
Just doesn't come out.
Mm-mm.
You've made peace with it?
Yep. Yep.
And how do you do that?
Oh, no.
3 years after the stroke, with Mary at his side, Randy Travis was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame and gave Amazing Grace new meaning.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
There wasn't a dry eye in the house.
I told you so.
In his absence, though, he's heard a lot of AI-generated fakes of his voice. A simple Google search brings up sites like these, promising to convert anyone's vocal into a Randy Travis sound-alike.
It doesn't sound good, and it doesn't sound real, because it's not.
And that got his record label thinking.
We started with this concept of what would AI for good look like for us? And the first thing that came to mind was we would give Randy Travis his voice back.
There were, however, more than a few skeptics.
It sounded like, you know, like a parlor trick or something.
But Kyle Lenning, with Randy's blessing, decided to try. He and Warner Music started by pulling 42 Randy Travis tracks from the vault.
Operator, please connect me.
Like this one, the original recording of his hit 1982. And then they stripped away the music, leaving only the vocal.
For what I didn't do,
wow,
I sure do need to tell her.
That was half the recipe. The other half needed to be provided by a donated or surrogate voice.
So I have to get a level on you.
In this case, that voice came from country music singer James Dupre.
Being a part of new Randy Travis music, I mean, that's like, what?
She had eyes like diamonds when they caught the light.
That's what was put into the model.
The model. It's the secret sauce.
Here's the vocal. Load it in.
An AI program that takes Randy Travis's voice and overlays it on top of James Dupre's singing. It's hardly an exact science.
It's not about how it sounds, it's about how it feels.
And that's not something a computer can figure out.
Not yet.
Kyle knows Randy's voice almost better than Randy does. They worked together for 40 years. This time, though, the task was to take a computer-generated voice and give it Randy's country heart.
Him being here and him being able to be, you know, a vital part of the decision-making process makes all the difference to me.
In the end, they finally landed on something they felt worthy of a voice no one but those who knew him best could replicate.
It's Randy Travis. Randy's on the other side of the microphone. It's still his vocal. There's no reason he shouldn't be able to make music. And to deprive him of that, if he still wants to do that, that's unconscionable to me.
2 months ago, Warner Music gathered a small circle of fellow musicians in a recording studio. Randy sat with a Cheshire Cat's grin. And then they hit play.
She had eyes like diamonds.
Holy crap. The reaction to his first song in more than a decade was a mix of joy and wonder.
Oh, but they were dark and deeper
God. For his wife, tears.
You forget how much you missed it until you hear it again.
For Randy's country friends, like Grammy-winning superstar Carrie Underwood, there was confusion.
How?
For Cole Swindell, who just won 3 ACM awards,
I must have said to myself, it's a great big world.
it reminded him of why he became a country singer in the first place.
For y'all to let me hear it, that means a lot. Damn, I'm glad to hear you sing. Oh.
And veteran country star Clay Walker.
And there ain't no more where that.
He was simply over the moon. Even Randy's own family hadn't heard it until 2 weeks ago.
It's so weird to kind of explain like everything that goes through your head when you're listening to it.
It was perfection, with a caveat.
We don't exactly know how to get here again.
You want to laugh at me as I try to sing this chorus?
She set her diamond ring next to another round of bourbon.
The second song they're working on is proving a harder nut to crack.
Sometimes angels spill whiskey on their wings.
Wow. That is so
I
crazy.
hear how all the vibrato doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
There's still work to be done, clearly, and a lot of questions to answer about what this all means going forward. But revel in this. After a decade-long absence, Randy Travis is back on the radio. His post-stroke debut song, Where That Came From, was released this past week. For Randy Travis, it's not just a single. It's a victory.
It's a life inspiration. Speak kindly, love fully, live completely, and leave the rest to God, you know?
Sounds like there's a song in there somewhere. We can only hope.
There just ain't no more where that came from.
And I stood there, shivering in my pajamas, watched the whole world go up in flame. And when it was all over, I said to myself, is that all there is to a fire?
In 1970, Peggy Lee won a Grammy for Is That All There Is?
Is that all there is?
A song that many heard as an anthem of ennui, but not Lee.
She saw it as absolutely life-affirming and hopeful, that bad things are gonna happen and that you can rise above them.
Let's break out the booze.
Stand back and have a ball.
Holly Foster Wells is Peggy Lee's granddaughter.
Celebrate life in spite of all of this that's happening.
That's the way my life is, like the sun that shines above his head.
And Peggy Lee had a lot to celebrate. At 50, she was already a legend, an artist of astonishing versatility.
Black coffee.
A master of cool.
Then was then.
A heartbreaker.
And now is now.
And a trailblazer.
Musically, how many different Peggy Lees were there?
God. Dozens.
Watch that fringe and see how it flutters.
There's Latin.
Sugar.
There's blues.
Things are swinging.
There's jazz.
Pass me by.
There's pop.
Peter Richmond wrote a biography of Lee.
Oh, you want me to do The Folks Who Live on the Hill? So you'll weep? I can do that. You want me to do Black Coffee? So you think it's like, oh, I'm hanging out with junkies at a kitchen table? I can do that.
And all of those Peggy Lees can be traced back to the desolate plains of North Dakota.
And that wind, it's like a rumbling.
It's powerful. Feels like it could blow this house down.
And the girl then named Norma Dolores Eggstrom. Here in the tiny town of Wimbledon, in what's now the Peggy Lee Museum, Norma spent her high school years. Her mother had died when she was just 4. Her father, the town's railroad depot manager, was an alcoholic.
And
He really at times couldn't run the depot, so she would have to take over for him.
Worse still, her father remarried a woman who was physically abusive. Lee later wrote that her stepmother once beat her over the head with a cast iron skillet.
And my grandmother, she said she would look out at the railroad tracks and just imagine where they led. It was a way out. That's what the railroad represented to her. And of course, her other way out was music.
Waiting for the train to come in.
By 17, she was singing on the radio as Peggy Lee, and before long,
Had plenty money, 1922.
touring with Benny Goodman's band, often the only woman on the bus.
And she said that these men always looked out for her. People took her under their wing. She had that quality where you wanted to protect her.
I'm gonna be a shady ladybird.
By now, she'd cultivated a style that was as minimalist as the landscape she'd grown up in. Cool, but never cold.
You wouldn't be a wandering out from door to door. Why don't you do right?
She had the philosophy of less is more. And she would bring you in, like you had to pay attention.
And so for the rest of her life, she knew that the more she could get the room silent, the more she's got them.
She said the challenge is to leave out all but the essentials, keeping it right there, minimal.
You get me in a spin. Oh, what a stew I'm in. 'Cause I don't know enough about you.
It was while touring with Benny Goodman that she met guitarist Dave Barber. They married in 1943.
And they had such chemistry together. That was the love of her life, my grandfather.
But Barber, like her father, had a drinking problem, one that only got worse as Lee got bigger, and the marriage ended in 1951.
A woman alone.
And it broke her heart. But just as she always has done, it fueled her music.
Don't cry. There'll be another spring.
The 1950s were Lee's most prolific and innovative period. A rarity among women at the time, she was a singer-songwriter with 270 songs to her name. As a kid, was it really cool for you that your grandmother was part of Lady and the Tramp?
That's how my friends knew of her.
He's a tramp, but they love him.
She co-wrote the score to the Disney classic.
She's the voice of the Siamese cats. She's Darling, the mother.
Fluffy sleeper. Hiya, handsome. Come to join the party.
She's Peg in the Dog Pound.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care.
And in 1958, Lee had her biggest hit with Fever, with an arrangement all her own. Just bass, drums, and finger snaps.
Fever when you hold me tight. Fever.
She's keeping so much in. If this is the only thing to signal what you're singing about, that's powerful.
But to see Peggy Lee live was to be spellbound.
CC Rider, see what you have done.
There's a tape of her singing CC Rider.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hypnotic.
I know exactly what performance that is at Basin Street East. And she barely moves. Like she just moves a little shoulder and just her face, and it's so sexy. And this was the living room.
It was inevitable that Peggy Lee would achieve icon status.
She kind of came up with that bob and the glasses, and then it's funny because then I saw Gwen Stefani doing the same thing. So.
Probably not a coincidence.
No.
When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard.
She inspired the Muppets character Miss Piggy, originally named Miss Peggy Lee.
She thought that was fantastic. I mean, that pig is glamorous.
Miss Piggy is the paragon of glamour.
Right. And she's a diva, and my grandma was a diva. So.
Yes, it's a good day.
And her life was glamorous. She recorded these home movies of parties at her Bel Air estate. But one song spoke to her greatest unfulfilled wish.
Someday we'll build a home on a hilltop high.
The Folks Who Live on the Hill, that's her very favorite song. And I think it just paints this picture of an idyllic relationship and growing old together and always having that soulmate by your side.
The folks who live on the hill.
After Dave Barber, Lee married and divorced 3 more times before she died in 2002.
And do you think she was ultimately happy?
That is a really complicated question. I think she had incredible moments of happiness, but interspersed with incredible loss, heartbreak, disappointment, fear.
And where do you think the fear came from?
She said, actually, it came from growing up without what she felt was a home.
And then one day he went away, and I thought I'd die, but I didn't.
But she wouldn't have been Peggy Lee without this heartache and this pain, and that is what resonates with people, is that truth.
Let's break out the booze.
She would say to me, this music is gonna outlive me.
She knew.
She knew.
If that's all there is.